Have you ever wondered what the real difference is between all-season tires and winter tires is? Well, we're here at the racetrack to find out. It's real winter here, everybody, at Toronto Motorsports Park. It's about -5 degrees with the wind chill. I bet it's closer to -15, maybe even -20. This is no joke. And what we wanted to find out is how much grip here, how much more traction will we have with a winter tire in these conditions versus an all-season tire? A lot of us, even in a true winter environment like this, get a little bit lazy and we think, oh, maybe our all-season tires are good enough, they'll get the job done. How much better could a winter tire really be? Well, we're gonna put our lap timer in the car, we're gonna collect a bunch of data and find out for ourselves just how big that performance gap is. And that way we'll know and you'll know if it's really worth spending the extra money on winter tires. So that's the basic premise here. First up, I think we'll do the baseline on the winter tires, then we'll swap on the all-season tires and see how much slower, or maybe not how much slower I really go. First up, we've got our Continental WinterContact SIs. This is a new offering from Continental, and as you can see, it's got all your typical winter tire features with lots of little sipes and grooves in the tread block, lots of drainage passages for the water, and they even have additional traction grooves right in between the tread blocks to give additional biting edges, which will help you in snow and slush and that kind of stuff, which we don't have a lot of on the ground right now, but we do have some ice on the track that you'll see later. And that ice and in these cold conditions will really let Continental's Polar Plus technology shine. That is apparently an additive in the compound itself, which gives it extra grip on cold and slippery surfaces. For all seasons, we've got Continental's new ExtremeContact DWS 06s. This is their latest and greatest version of the DWS compound, and it has a whole bunch of technology packed into it. It's an ultra high performance all-season tire, 560 tread wear rating, and one of the more interesting features is this DWS marking in the tread blocks here, and those actually wear down and indicate to you visually when they're no longer optimal for those conditions, so dry, wet, and snow. So when that S disappears, they're no longer considered optimal for snow. Speaking of snow, they do have some additional traction grooves in the void area between the tread blocks here, which is part of their strategy for making these winter capable tires. As you can see, they also have quite a high void to tread ratio, so they're very good in the wet. But if you feel the compound, the blocks are quite stiff. It's got quite a stiff sidewall because it is an ultra high performance tire. So there's going to be some compromises to this tire versus the much softer winter tire, which I think will give us better traction. And as a general rule of thumb, winter compound tires really come into their own in temperatures below about 7 degrees Celsius. We're obviously way below that, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of lateral G-forces, what kind of grip levels we get out of an all-season compound versus a winter compound. I should also mention these are 245 4018s, both on 18 by 9.5 inch wheels, but they're basically identical in weight and specs, so we've controlled for that as much as we can. Next, I think we should probably talk about the car a little bit, and then we'll hit the racetrack. As for our test vehicle, as you can see, it is a 2019 Toyota 86. This is the GT model with a 6-speed automatic transmission. Before all of you automatic haters go boo, we think in these conditions the automatic will actually work very well. It'll be very consistent, and it'll kind of take some of a driver variation out of our test conditions. And having used these automatics before, I know they shift very well on command, so I don't think we'll have any issues there. What else can we tell you? It's rated at 200 horsepower, 151 foot-pounds of torque. It's a lightweight chassis, rear-wheel drive. Let's go have some fun and see how these tires do. All right, guys, I got a pretty good feel for what the car is doing now and how the track conditions are. So coming around towards the front straight here, I'm gonna make this my one time attack lap if I can. Try to get in as clean and as fast a lap as I can. Really see what we can get out of these winter tires in these conditions. And then we will swap over to the all seasons. All right, here we go. Full jam up the front straight. Brakes still seem to be standing up pretty well in these conditions. On the binders, we got ABS kicking in into turn 1. Got a little sliding going on, but not bad. Back straight here, as we call it. Turn 2. Hard on the brakes. Oh yeah, it kind of blew that braking zone there a bit, but I'm so used to racing tires in warmer conditions here that I was optimistic on my braking point there, but we will make the best of it. through the ice patch here in the S's, and then out the backside of the S's, a little sliding around there, not too bad. Down into turn 6, hard on the brakes, back on the gas, try to get the power down as best we can coming out of here, not too bad. Down through the little chicane into turn 8, up under the curve a little bit on the power. And yeah, I mean, these WinterContact SIs are definitely working well in these conditions, and the car is super fun. It kind of feels like I'm just out on a fun lapping day, having a good time in a fun car. And we'll try to stay off the icy mess down the front straight here and across the line. All right, we are on the all-season tires, Continental Extreme DWS 06s, and I have no idea what to expect in these conditions. I will take my time to get a feel for them. I've set the tire pressures to 32 psi all around, just like they were on the winter tires, so that we've got an even playing field there. And boy, they do feel like a much stiffer tire, much stiffer sidewall. Down the front straight here, towards turn 1. Let's see what kind of braking performance we get. Wow, they're really quite good on the brakes. And then in the turn, I feel like I have more traction than I did on the winters. Huh. Was not expecting this, everybody. I guess it's maybe speaking a little too soon because we're only down into turn 2 here, but I gotta say the grip level just feels higher. Nice little slide there through this icy bit, just goes straight until it gets onto some dry pavement. A little sliding there, but not bad. And into turn 6 here onto the middle chute. And I mean, it's really breaking traction in a very consistent way, the way you would want a high performance tire to behave. And I'm blown away by how high the grip level is. Like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go faster on these tires than we did on the winters, which is maybe proving the point that in mostly dry conditions, these Continental DWSs are spectacularly good. I guess we'd have to get out into the snow and the slush and the icy stuff to really see a difference, because this compound is working well in these conditions, really well. Let's see what we get for a lap time. Woo-hoo. Wow! My mind is completely blown. I did not expect those results. As it turned out, the all-season ExtremeContact DWS 06s were 3 seconds a lap faster. I did a 1:31.8 on the all-seasons and a 1:34.8 on the winter tires. That is a complete reversal of what I was expecting based on all the information we're given by the tire industry, that winter tires work better in cold temperatures. Generally speaking, they say below 7 degrees Celsius, and a winter tire starts to work better. We are probably minus 15 here with very high winds, so to see an all-season tire generate that much grip in these conditions, I just did not expect it. But the numbers don't lie, and it had really better, like so much more grip in the corners and much better drive out of the corners. It felt almost like I was driving in the summer. I couldn't believe the grip levels I was getting out of it. In fact, that lap time of a 1:31 is really not that far off of what this car would do in the summer on the OE tires. So very impressed by these tires, but we really should emphasize the fact that these are dry conditions. So even though it's very cold, the tarmac was dry everywhere other than that one icy patch in the S's. So if there was snow on the track or slush or water or ice, there's no question in my mind that the winter tires would outperform any all-season tire in those conditions. But in these dry conditions, this all-season tire was spectacular. Does that mean you can go and buy your garden variety all-season tire and get the same results? I think probably not. I think Continental has done something very special with this tire, so keep that in mind. So, one more test we'd like to do just to confirm what we're seeing here, and that is a 100 km/h to 0 km/h braking test on the front straight. We're going to test both these out, see which one does better. All right, guys, just to add a little interest to this test, we are going to do a 0 to 100 km/h acceleration run up the front straight here. I get to 100K right at the painted start finish line, and then I'm going to go full hard on the brakes. We'll see what our stopping distance is from 100K to 0. We'll mark that with a pylon. This is on the WinterContact SIs, then we'll swap on the all-season tires and see if there's a big difference in braking distances. All right, here we go. I'm in drive. I'll take another shot at that just to see if I can improve on it, and then we'll make the swap. Okay, here we go. This will be our first try from the 100 kilometers an hour to 0 kilometers test on the all-season ExtremeContact DWSs. Let's see how they do. Well, one shot and we already beat the best try on the winter tires. I'm going to go give it a couple more tries. And there we have it. Once again, the all-season tires have surprised us by outperforming the winter tires by about 11 feet on average, braking shorter distances and more consistently too. The spacing between those three samples that we did on H was tighter on the all seasons than on the winters, so we're getting more consistent braking and better braking on these ExtremeContact DWS 06s. Once again, I'm kind of flabbergasted, but the numbers don't lie, the results don't lie. They were really just better in these dry conditions. So once again, I feel obligated to reiterate that if the track was snow covered or ice covered or slush covered or water covered, I think the results would be quite different. So please keep that in mind when you're shopping. And if you live in an environment like this, we would still highly recommend that you equip your car with winter tires, because we just don't know how good these would be in deep snow or on ice or on slush. So, but if you're looking for great performance on a dry tarmac all year round, we can certainly wholeheartedly endorse these DWS 06s. Really impressed by the grip levels they generated, but for the drive home, we're still going to swap back on the winters because it is starting to snow here, it is blowing cold. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. We hope you found this test as surprising as we did. And for more tire testing, stay tuned to our channel because we've got all kinds of good stuff coming for you. Be sure to hit the subscribe button not to miss our next tire test. And if you want some swag like my Speed Academy hat here, check out speedacademy.shop. Back down into the middle straight here and on the gas hard. I mean, it's a very controllable slide on these winters. They're definitely tuned for these conditions, not for track driving.